Alex, I spent 3 hours yesterday trying to find a 10 millimeter socket that I swear I saw on Tuesday, only to realize I'd accidentally epoxied it to the underside of a walnut coffee table I was finishing.
Please tell me you left it there. Call it industrial chic, a hidden structural element.
I considered it, thought about charging an extra $50 for the integrated tool storage, but my conscience and the fact that I needed that socket for the lawnmower got the better of me. Welcome to the TigerDen podcast, everyone. It's August 3rd, 2026, and we are kicking off the week with some heavy hitters in the world of fabrication, trade grants, and how to actually make a buck without losing your mind in the process.
And hopefully without gluing your tools to your furniture. We've got a lot to unpack today. We're talking about Trump EF's new toys in the welding world, a massive win for trade schools, and some Shopify data that suggests people are spending way more on handmade goods than you might think.
Let's start with the heavy metal. Trump EF is out here making the rest of us look like we're rubbing sticks together. They've been pushing these new modular robotic cells for aluminum. Now, normally when a small shop hears robotics, they think of a price tag that requires selling a kidney and a mortgage. But the gap is closing.
Is this actually accessible for the guy in a two-bay garage, or are we still talking Boeing budget territory?
It's moving toward the mid-sized shops, but the tech trickles down. The real story is the pulse welding on thin gauge aluminum. Aluminum is a fickle beast, Alex. It's like trying to weld a stick of butter with a flamethrower. One second you're fine, the next you've got a puddle of silver sadness on the floor.
A puddle of silver sadness. That's your next country song title.
It's a tragedy in three parts, but this new tech manages the heat-affected zone so precisely that you aren't warping the life out of the metal. If you're building lightweight trailers or structural frames, this is the kind of stuff that makes the difference between a project that looks professional and one that looks like it was assembled by an angry toddler.
Speaking of professional, let's talk about the kids coming up. The Bring Back the Trades initiative just dropped over $3,000 worth of toolkits into public schools. I love this because, let's be honest, Tiger, a lot of school shop programs haven't updated their inventory since the Nixon administration.
I remember my high school shop teacher had a drill press that sounded like a jet engine eating a bag of gravel. You didn't learn craftsmanship, you learned how to survive a mechanical failure. But seriously, getting a high-quality kit in the hands of a kid who's 17, that's life-changing.
It's about debt, too. You always say the best way to start is to not be underwater before you even strike your first arc.
Exactly. If you're an apprentice reading this, or if you know one, go hunting for those equipment scholarships. Starting your journey with a paid-for set of Milwaukee or pack-out gear instead of a high-interest credit card balance is the smartest business move you'll ever make. It's the difference between working for your tools and having your tools work for you.
Let's pivot to the maker moguls. Shopify just released some data for Q1 of 2026, and the average Etsy buyer is now dropping $122 per active buyer. That feels like a lot for knickknacks.
It's because people are tired of disposable. Everything you buy at a big box store feels like it's designed to return to the earth in about 6 months. People are hungry for things with a soul, something that has a thumbprint on it or a slight wobble in the grain. But, and this is a big but, you can't just build it and hope they come.
You're talking about the field of dreams fallacy.
Precisely. If I build a hand-carved spoon and put it in a box in my garage, I just have a spoon. The 11-step roadmap we're looking at today emphasizes multi-channel selling. You've got to be on Shopify, but you've also got to have your hooks in Amazon Handmade or Etsy. You're fishing where the fish are already swimming.
And you mentioned something about earned media. Does that mean I have to start doing dances on TikTok to sell a birdhouse?
Please don't. The world isn't ready for your footwork, Alex. No, earned media is about community. It's about getting another maker, someone people actually trust, to say, hey, Tiger's hinges are the only ones that don't squeak like a haunted mansion. One shout out from a peer is worth $10,000 in targeted ads because it carries the weight of a handshake.
All right, let's get into the dirt. Literally. The DIY world is currently obsessed with small cabins and outdoor kitchens. I saw that full DIY masterclass on the wooden cabin. Their big takeaway was foundation leveling.
It's the least sexy part of building, so everyone rushes it. They want to get to the rafters and the shingles because that's what looks good on Instagram. But if your foundation is out by even a quarter inch, by the time you reach the roof line, you're going to be fighting physics. And physics always wins. I once built a shed where I figured close enough was good enough for the footings. 3 years later, the door wouldn't open unless it was a Tuesday, and the humidity was exactly 42%.
So, spend twice as long on the level as you think you need to. Got it. And what about this scratch coat thing for outdoor kitchens?
This is vital. If you're putting stone veneer on an outdoor kitchen, you can't just butter the back of the stone and slap it on the cement board. You need that scratch coat, that rough, notched layer of mortar. It gives the stone something to bite into. If you skip it, the first time you get a hard freeze in January, your expensive stone tiles are going to pop off like scabs.
That's a lovely image for a Monday morning.
It's the truth. And for the love of all that is holy, run your pipes and wires before you pour the slab. I've spent way too many afternoons with a hammer drill and a look of pure regret trying to retrofit a gas line through 6 inches of reinforced concrete. It's like trying to perform surgery through a keyhole with a sledgehammer.
So, the takeaway for today? Whether it's robotic welding, starting an Etsy shop, or building a cabin, don't skip the boring parts.
That's it. The boring parts are actually the structural parts. The foundation, the scratch coat, the research before the launch. That's where the success lives. The rest of it is just the victory lap.
Well said. If you want to dive deeper, we've got the welding and plumbing cert guides, the 2026 e-commerce checklist, and the outdoor kitchen plans linked in the show notes.
Go build something today. Even if it's just a mistake you can learn from tomorrow. Just try not to epoxy your tools to the furniture.
Speak for yourself. See you guys tomorrow.